today my main claim is that GMOs bring beneficial effects. So first of all, let me define what GMOs are. And GMO stands for genetically modified organism, which pretty much means the changing of the DNA or genome within an organism. It's mostly common in crops, and it's currently happening in animals. So I have two secondary claims. So one is that GMOs will have environmental benefits, and two is that GMOs can advance farm productivity. So with my first secondary claim, they will have environmental benefits. One of them is because we won't have to chop down forests as much as we're doing right now. So according to Nicholas Staropoli, the director of Epigenetics Literacy Project, which is an organization about the study of gene expressions, stated, if crop biotechnology had not been available to the 18 million farmers using the technology in 2014, then maintaining global production levels at the 2014 levels would have required additional plantings of 7.5 million hectares. To give you an idea as to how much that is, that's equivalent to about 14 million football fields. And another reason why it has environmental benefits is that it reduces greenhouse gas emissions. So according to the same person, he stated HT crops, known for herbicide-tolerant crops, have helped more farmers adopt the no-till soil conservation practices. These GM crops contributed to the reduction of almost 2.4 billion kilograms in carbon dioxide emission, equivalent to removing 1.07 million cars from the road. So, and third reason why it has environmental benefits is that it calls for the reduction of pesticide spraying, this is actually already happening. So according to Moises Burachik, a biotechnology director and secretary of agriculture in Buenos Aires, Argentina, the adoption of insect-resistant cotton, also known as BT cotton, has resulted in reduced application rates of toxic chemicals by 50%. So this kind of cotton is mostly common in Argentina and in developing countries. As you can see, it reduces application for pesticide spraying, which is actually very good for health, and it just saves crops from dying. So moving on to my secondary claim, GMOs can advance farm productivity. So the reason why we have to eventually advance farm productivity is because in the long run, productivity will need to increase. So in 2015, the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs stated the current world population of 7.3 billion is expected to reach 9.7 billion by 2050. So that's a really big increase. So what this obviously means is that food demand will increase, and it's either we reduce food consumption or grow more than we are now. And well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't plan on cutting my diet, so we're gonna have to find a way to create more food. And so, in the way that will help is GMOs, which will help allow it to grow twice as more, and which leads on to one of my reasons how it advances farm productivity is because right now developing countries, considering they have like India, they have a big population, and right now they're dependent on cotton, BT cotton, in order to gain income, for them to be able to grow food or to buy food from them. So Dr. Man Kwam, a professor of international food economics and rural development, stated in 2010 that one study in India suggests that BT cotton produces 82% higher income for small farm households compared with conventional cotton. And annual gains of BT cotton in China are also estimated in a range of $1 billion. Other developing countries where farmers use BT cotton include Pakistan, South Africa, Burkina Faso, Mexico, and Argentina. So conventional cotton used to bring them about $300 per hectare, but with using BT cotton, an 82% increase of income has led them to have about $550 per hectare, which is a really big increase, because that means that they'll have more money to invest in their farms and obviously produce more food for their family and for them to sell. So I have talked about how GMOs bring beneficial effects, and I've stated that by saying that they'll have environmental benefits. And I proved to you that by saying that how we won't have to chop down forests, how it reduces greenhouse gas emissions, and how it calls for the reduction of pesticide spraying. And I've also talked about how it advances farm productivity by mentioning how developing countries are kind of benefiting right now, and why we have to why we'll have to advance in the future. Thank you.
Since you were keeping time, what was your time, do you know?
It's like 6 minutes exactly.
All right, I'll give you 6 minutes exactly. I'll double check it when I print it up on the computer, but, all right. Okay, you identify the proposition clearly. There is a preview, although you kind of presenting it in a sort of quiet way, and the sentences need to be a little bit more forcefully presented. The controversy on the issue, I'm not sure that the controversy is on the productivity or the beneficial effects. That there is some argument about whether or not there's a sufficient justification for using these. So I think you've got a good issue here. I think you could use a little bit more background to explain why it is that you have to make this argument. The signposting on the main points in the body of the speech was good. You did a very nice job kind of explaining each point pretty well as you were giving the evidence. So when it came to presenting the evidence and making your argument, I thought that you did a solid job on that. I could follow each of the points that you were presenting. Sometimes a little bit more information might be useful in order to support a conclusion. For example, on the second point, you do make a claim at one point that says that's going to double their productivity. The only information that I had on that came even close to that was about the amount of money that gets returned, but not necessarily the food return that you were talking about on that point. And I think that that's a little bit of a jump, a big inference to be making there. But you did a good job citing your sources. I thought you were very consistent about that sort of thing. And the testimony being offered sounded like it came from credible sources. There's some good statistical information there. There's a lot of reading in the first 2/3 of the speech. I thought you got a little bit better at the end of the presentation, talking to us a little bit more. All right, thank you.